Welcome to I Am Well podcast. I am your host, Gemma, a nutritionist and mindset coach passionate about all things health and wellness. I'm going to take you on a journey to discovering what health means for you and how to create a life you love living. I'm on a mission to uplift those who feel overwhelmed with what it means to be healthy, reminding you, my listeners, that nutrition is only one aspect of health, and empower you to live your best life on your terms. Let's get to it. Hi, and welcome back to I Am Well podcast. Today I have on a really exciting guest because I'm so excited to learn about this topic. It's all about human design, and she's really helping other women and other mums learn about their own human design and their children's human design and how that can help really parent and help live their best life, I guess. And I'm so excited to hear about it. I literally did my own test and I can't wait to learn more. So welcome, Sam.
Thank you very much for having me. I'm so excited to chat today and share everything about human design. It's definitely been a transformational tool that I've
Yeah,
discovered in my life. And it's something that I believe needs to be in every home. So I'm really excited to share about it.
perfect. So before we get started, where you actually live in Australia?
I live in Beachmont, so Gold Coast hinterland.
Oh, okay. We just moved to Gold Coast like October last year. We're in Helensvale, so I don't actually know a few of the different places yet.
It's actually not far, so it's about 40 minutes. So
Oh
you'd
my
be
gosh,
heading towards like Tamborine Mountain and I'm just up the top. Binnaburra. Do you know Binnaburra Lodge?
Oh, Tamborine Mountain though, we literally just went and discovered that the other
Yeah,
week.
it's
So nice.
close to there. It's that direction, but it's like right up the mountain.
Right. And how many kids do you have?
Two.
Two kids. Okay, same.
Yes,
I've got a 2-year-old and a 5-year-old. Oh my gosh. How old are your kids?
similar. So my son is 5 and my daughter is almost 3. So similar,
Oh,
yeah.
very similar. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Perfect. Sorry, I didn't bring you on here just to talk kids and where you live. So before we get started, like how did you actually get started into human design? What were you doing before? And how did it come about?
So before I had kids, I
Yeah.
was actually a chef. So I did, long hours. I did, crazy schedules. And I just knew, I couldn't go back to that after I had kids. And I didn't work for a little bit after I had kids. I had my son, and then I felt lost when I first became a mother, which,
Mm.
many of us do. And I really struggled. And um, I came across human design in a program that I was in. And I didn't really, dive too much into it at that time. I found out my energy type. And when I first found out my energy type, it was like I felt seen and felt validated for the first time in my life. My specific energy type is a non-energy being, and basically your energy is inconsistent. So for me, in motherhood, feeling like exhausted all the time, which I know we all do. However, this is a little bit more, you know, more exhausted, and my energy was inconsistent. So I was comparing myself to other mothers, going, why can't I achieve what they are? So when I discovered my human design, I thought, oh, wow, this makes sense. And so instead of struggling, I really leaned into my human design and I really, honored that energy and changed my schedules, changed my structure, changed my life, basically, stopped comparing myself. And, things started to feel easier. And I thought, oh my God, I need to look at my children's. I looked at my children's. I ended up studying human design and, I started parenting using human design and it has just changed my life. So it's made things so much easier. It's helped me understand my children. And, I think we can really be conditioned by society to want to do all of the things with our children. However, when we really understand their design, we can step back a bit and we
Hmm.
can, talk to them in certain ways that help them respond to things and we can understand them. And when we understand them, things actually become so much easier. So it's, yeah. And now I want to share it with everybody and share it with families because I know that, life is very busy and being a mother is very busy. There's a lot of responsibilities. So when we can take all the worry, take all the guilt out of motherhood, then we really do make our lives a lot easier.
Yeah, it sounds so interesting. Like, even when I did the test on myself and it came back like I'm a generator.
Hmm.
And my husband and my son, they were both generator manifestors.
Yes.
So can you, I don't know, I don't want to spend up too much of your time, but can you briefly kind of go through each one, like and what they mean?
Yeah, sure. And it's so much easier to actually talk about them when you have the opportunity to give examples. So there are five energy types within the human design systems. So there's a generator and the manifesting generator. So they're known as your energy beings. So they have consistent access to physical energy. So you probably find with you and your family, because you're all generators and manifesting generators, that you guys have a lot of energy. You can go, 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 especially your children. You can go all the time. You can put your energy towards things. The generators are, full of life. They're the energizer bunnies. They are really here to complete tasks, see things through. They're like the workers of, society. The manifesting generators are more of the creatives. They are, they can skip steps. They move really, really fast. They move from one thing to another. And you're probably, yeah, noticing this
I'm
is for
like,
you.
yeah, that's my
Yeah.
husband and my son. Yeah.
Yeah. And then so there's the manifestors, which is what I am, and the manifestors are the one of the non-energy beings. They are here to go first. They're here to initiate. They're very independent when we're looking at children. They like know how to parent themselves. So they hate being told what to do. They really need a lot of freedom. Then there is the projector energy type. So they are again another non-energy being, and they are like the wise owls of the world. They are here to see where the world can be done better, or here to see where things can be done better. They really are, very intuitive. And then there's reflectors, and they are really rare. They make up 1% of the population. They're really sensitive beings. They mirror back people's energy from around them. So, yeah, very sensitive, very rare little beings. So, as you can see, all five types are very, very different.
Right. Okay. That it so makes sense. So because it finds out I literally did it on a generator, I Googled it online and then I just found out mine. And it was just by your name, birth date. What other things did it need to know? I can't remember now.
So you need your birth date, your exact time of birth, and it does matter for the exact time of birth, and then place of birth. The timing really needs to be correct because things change within it by the minute. So, and important things, I think, depending on your time of birth, your like whether you thrive with structure or whether you thrive with flow. Um, Changes. So yeah, important things change if you don't have that exact time. You can find out, you can, play around and put in a couple of different timings and say, okay, does this resonate with you? Does this not? But ultimately, we want to have that exact time
Yeah,
of
I
birth. Yeah.
actually can attest to that because I didn't know my time at the time and I put it in, I think I did like 2 a.m. because I thought I was in the middle of the night or something. And my mum actually told me I was 6:30 a.m. and little things did change. Like it was the profile changed and
Mhm.
there was something else. I think it was like, oh, my motivation. It said my motivation was fear. And then I did it to my proper time. And then it said my motivation was hope. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, it's completely different. So it does actually change. So the time
Yes.
obviously does matter.
Yeah, yeah, the little things do change. So it is really important to have that time. If people really want to do a reading, they can. And we just go through it and say, like you said, your profile changed. We could say, okay, do you resonate more with this profile or this profile? And then we can say, okay, well that makes more sense.
Okay. So when you found out your own one, how did it change yourself? Like how did it change your life? What did you start doing things differently in your life, knowing this information?
So specifically for a manifestor, I guess like as a mother, we look at, what other mothers are doing. We are constantly comparing ourselves. So for me, I felt lazy. I felt like I couldn't keep up with other mothers. When I understood that my energy type was a manifestor and that our energy is not always there, I stopped comparing myself. Straight there, I stopped comparing myself, knowing, okay, I can't do what she's doing, how she's doing it. I can do it, but I've got to do it in alignment with, what works for me. So I created a bit more freedom within my life. I decided that, I wanted to work from home so that when my rest hit or when I needed that rest, I could rest. I knew that, I didn't put too much on my schedule because, I don't know what my energy is going to be like. I don't know if I'm going to have the energy to commit to that thing tomorrow. So, not that I don't do things, I just, I give myself a bit more freedom and I give myself permission to say no to things. I do have a lot of freedom and a lot of white space within my days so that I can say yes to the things I want to and no to the things that I don't want to. So that and understanding my energy type and how I'm here to use that physical energy, I really could, you know, listen to when my body needed to rest and
Mhm.
act when I have that, those creative surges, which manifestors do. And now that's just how I operate. When I need the rest, I rest. And when I don't, I act on that. And I can still achieve everything that I need to on one of those creative surges. So, it's not to say you can't achieve the things that you want to. It's just about understanding your energy and working with it.
Yeah, and doing it in the way that suits your energy.
Yes.
It's such an empowering way because I feel like it's just getting to know yourself on another level. Like, there's all these other tools, like where we're manifesting, we're meditating, we're journaling, we're trying to understand that way. But I just feel like this is just like the next level. So
Yeah,
you-
exactly. And I think, it's the same with parenting. You can have all of these different parenting styles, conscious parenting, gentle parenting. But if you don't understand your child as an individual, then, you can have all the tools, but if you don't understand your child as an individual, then it's not going to work. Yes, we can find these tools, and when we understand our children as an individual, they can help so much more. But the awareness really is key, I think.
yeah, I'm so glad you went to that part because I was literally just about to ask you. So when we know our kids' type, how can this help us as mothers?
Yeah, so something that I focus on specifically is that energy type. So that physical energy, how they're here to use that. Because when we understand that about our children, we know how to find activities that see them thrive. And specifically for me, as a manifestor who's that non-energy being, I don't have a lot of that energy or I don't have consistent energy. My children are like yours, a generator and a manifesting generator. So they have a lot of energy. So for me, understanding that my son really needs to move his body all day, I can find activities for him that allows him to do that. For my daughter, she requires more of that mental stimulation being a manifesting generator. So I can find activities for her that really burn her energy out as well. And so that helps me. I can find activities that they can both do that, and I can sit and do nothing, like find big wide open spaces for them to run around, play. We can also, look at their profile, which helps to dive into, their big picture purpose in the world. So again, finding activities that support that big picture purpose that they're here to do. And then there's things like their strategy. So for your children are here to respond to things, much like you and your partner as well. So they're here to respond to life. And so things that can really help in the home are generators and manifesting generators work really well with this or that questions. They work really well with yes or no questions. You may find with your kids, if you're asking, like, okay, what do you want to do today? They may not answer you. Or,
Mm.
like, what do you want for breakfast? They may not answer you because they don't respond that way. They respond better to would you prefer pancakes for breakfast or would you want, like, toast? So we can use, there's a whole load of things that we can understand to help us parent, but those are things that I would always focus on.
Right. That's so, as you're saying that, I was like, okay, because my son's a manifesting generator. So I'm like, okay, so he needs more stimulating activities, but also to be stimulated as well. So because he needs to use up his energy, right?
Yeah.
My daughter, she's more generator. So that means she needs to get rid of all that energy. She needs to be out doing a lot of stuff, right?
Yeah, so both of them need to, like, there's a requirement for them. Both of them need to burn that sacral energy out. It's called sacral energy. They need to burn that energy out every single day for them to sleep, like to go to sleep and, sleep through the night.
Hmm.
Otherwise, something that you will notice is they will start to get fidgety, especially your generator will get really fidgety. So this is like a sign that they need to burn physical energy. So generators need more of that physical energy, and the manifesting generators need more of that mental stimulation. So you may find that your generator is just kind of like jumping around, being silly, blurting out words, singing, things like that. That's a sign for them that they need to burn more energy. And same with your manifesting generator. You may find that it's hard for them to focus. You may find that, their mind's like, looking here, looking there because they need variety, they need to move fast. But when you understand that, you can look at it and go, okay, they need more mental stimulation rather than, oh, why aren't they focusing? Why aren't they paying attention? Why aren't they listening to me? When you have that awareness, it makes your life easier for sure.
It kind of makes so much sense in the way that my son, because he's a manifesting generator, he is always wanting to, he loves learning about colors and numbers and shapes. Like he's so obsessed with that. But my daughter was never obsessed with that. Like he knows the whole alphabet and he's two. She didn't at 2 years old. And it's so interesting because if we sit down and watch a movie, she wants to get up and dance. And I'm like, sit down, sit down. Like, oh my God, I'm going completely opposite to what she is. I should be letting her dance.
Well, and that's the thing. That is right. And when you have awareness of it, you don't see it as a problem anymore. And I was the same with my son being a generator. I thought, why will he not sit still? And for me as a non-energy being, I was like, oh my God, this is exhausting. But when I had awareness, I was like, okay, cool, that's his sign. Let's get outside. Let's move his body. And, generators really do need to be doing that all the time, like nearly all day, especially as children. So you probably find she doesn't sit down. You may sit down for a meal and she's fidgeting, and there is times obviously we need them to sit down, and if that's the case we get them to burn energy before that. Running, jumping, anything like that, moving that body, it's really important to connect them to that body. But yeah, helping them burn that energy out and giving them awareness as well of their body and how it works. It's because that energy within them feels really uncomfortable when they're not burning it. It's like, that's why they're fidgeting. That's why it's just like this stagnant energy sitting within them. So it feels really uncomfortable. So to help them use that up is awesome.
Yeah, it makes so much sense. When you have a parent and the child similar, so you have two generators or two manifesting generators or projectors, whatever, does this mean they're going to clash or does this mean they'll work together? Like, does that have any meaning?
Uh, it depends. I mean, when you're looking at, say you are a generator and you're a generator, yeah?
Yeah,
Yeah. You're
me and my daughter, we're the
okay,
same.
so you can look at, potentially your upbringing and what you didn't feel like you got in your upbringing. As a generator, you can look at your daughter and go, okay, she needed to burn a lot of energy. She needs to prioritize joy because generators really like their big purpose in life is to prioritize joy and follow that joy. So for her, that that's a big purpose for her now. She needs to burn energy. She needs to put her energy towards things, that light her up. And so you can use that as a benefit. You can use that as, you know, something that helps her get away from that conditioning that you potentially had. So
Mm.
there's definitely things that, you can butt heads about. Like
Yeah.
for a manifest, if you are a manifester and you have a manifestor child, both people don't like being told what to do. So, there's going to be a lot of clashing there. Two projectors, they're both here to, share solutions. So, again, they may butt heads there. So it's definitely good things. And I think, especially for somebody who feels like they didn't have a lot of their needs met as a child, if they have the same energy type as their child, then they really can go, okay, well, this is what they need. I think a
Mhm.
lot of people now parent their children in a way that they wanted or needed. We're that generation that want to heal things, we want to do things differently. However, if their child has a different energy type or, different things within their chart, then you're just really healing your inner child rather than supporting them to be themselves. So, yeah, there's definitely benefits to it, and there's definitely places where there can be conflict.
Yeah. I want to ask about there's another part in it because there's so many different parts when you find out your energy type. And I didn't realize that it was so compounded. There was so much to it.
There's so much there's so it's so deep. So
It is so deep.
it's so deep and I cover a lot. There's some parts within the design that you could have a whole hour session or a whole hour reading
Mm.
just on one particular thing. So I definitely condense things. Um, the things that I cover in like a child and a mother reading or and family readings is like the energy type, strategy, authority, environment, all the energy centers,
Okay.
and determination, which is your digestion. And and then there's themes. There's something called themes, which is kind of like your green and red flag indicators of when you're in alignment and when you're out, and those for your children as well.
Yeah. Right. So knowing those specific things, does that help you make decisions better too?
Yep,
Yeah.
yep, definitely. Yeah. So within your chart, there's something called your inner authority. So
Yeah.
this is basically like, we're actually not designed to make decisions from our mind. We're designed to make decisions from our body. So this is basically your body's communication system of how to make aligned decisions. So do you have your guys up?
Yes. What was it? What do I need to?
Authority.
Oh, yeah, that's the sacral. I got
Sacral
sacral.
for you.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. So for you, you are here to make impulsive decisions based on your gut. So you have a really strong gut response. So that instant response, you need to be following that decision. If you wait on that, you are going to be influenced by, logic, influenced by fear, influenced by, the people and things around you if you don't make the decision impulsively. So you have to make decisions like in the moment.
Wow.
Do you feel you've got that strong gut response?
I do. I sometimes feel like if I go against it, it feels really wrong. But I think like I that's the logicness in me. Like it's like my mind's like, no, 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 don't go with your gut instinct because it could be scary. Like do this, like think logically. But my gut, I do feel like 9 times out of 10, if I always listen to it, it always ends up showing me the right path.
Yes, yes, and that's right. And with your family, are they all sacral, or is there might be someone who's emotional?
I can't remember off the top of my head. No, my husband's sacral.
Hmm.
And my kids are nowhere to be found. Where are they? But yeah, sacral and authority for Brooklyn is he says emotional solar plexus.
Yes. Okay, so the three of you have sacral, so you're here to make decisions impulsively. So he is here to make decisions based on his emotions. So you guys are gut response, he's based on emotions. So what that means is that he will experience a wave of emotions when he has to make a decision. So it's actually important for him to wait to make a decision. So he's not impulsive at all. And you may notice this already. If
Yeah.
you go to the shops and say, do you want something? He's like, oh, I don't know what I want. I don't know what I want. So he has to wait. So basically, what happens is that, he's posed an opportunity or a question. And what happens with the emotional authority is that you say either yes or no on this high. Then, so you may say, do you want to go to the park tomorrow? And he's like, yes, no worries. And then he's on that high. Then later on in that day, he'll hit this low and he's like, oh, I don't really want to do that, but I've already said yes to it. And then you kind of get into this pattern of, oh, should I do it because I'm gonna, upset someone, or should I, or, you end up making decisions that you regret. So it's really important for people with an emotional authority to wait at least 24 hours to make a decision. So something you can do as a parent is say, how about we sleep on it? How about we wait and, let a little bit of time pass and see what you think tomorrow. So he really needs that time to make the decisions, and you guys need to do it like in the moment. So that's where you can see a little bit of um you can see that difference in dynamic within the family, because he can become quite conditioned by you guys making instant decisions to start making instant decisions. And then he'll start following them, but they're not actually aligned for him. He has to really
Yeah.
wait and feel into that with his emotions.
It's so interesting. I love this. I love that I'm like just using you, that I get a little free trying to figure out what my human design is. It's amazing. Like this
I
feels
love I love to be able to have, people's like examples to be able to talk to because it makes it so much easier to talk about when, you have
Yeah.
those examples.
Yeah, when I first saw it, it is so overwhelming for someone. Like I so like highly recommend if anyone's listening to this, Google it and figure out what yours is because it is really interesting. But then find someone like Sam though to teach you through and guide you through it because there is so much, it's so in depth. And when I first saw it, I was like, what does this mean? There's still stuff that I just don't understand. So I'm gonna need your help like later on. I'm gonna have to book in. Um, I know my friend Gabby, who I'm hosting a wellness retreat with, she actually recommended me to you because she wants to get in contact with you to help with her kids. So she,
Oh,
yeah.
awesome. Cool.
And I was like, well, human design. I was like, I've heard of this before, but what is it? And then that's when I went down the rabbit hole. There was a part. Oh, environment. What does environment mean? Okay, because when I searched it, mine comes up with kitchens, and so does my son. And I'm just curious to know what this means. What does
Okay, so environment is basically it's your happy place. It's where you thrive. It's the where you can rebalance your energy, where you can reset your energy. So when you're looking at your environment, everyone has a specific environment. There's 6 different environments. So there's kitchens, mountains, valleys, caves, markets, and everyone falls into one of them. And basically, you want to look at the qualities of this environment and surround yourself by them. That's how you do your best work. That's how you feel most grounded. So for you, kitchens, you want to look at a kitchen environment. What does a kitchen environment look like? It's warm, so you probably love being, out in the sun. You probably like being surrounded by warm things. Lots of beautiful smells. You're probably like really into food. Um, you know,
I'm a
so
nutritionist,
there
so
you go, so it basically is like that happy place for you. So when you're feeling ungrounded, get in the kitchen. When you feel like again ungrounded, you can get outside and look at those qualities of that environment and try and bring them into all the spaces of your life. When you're working, when you're sleeping, a little place that you can go to when you want to escape. So what are the other two in your family?
we're all the same except my husband is caves. He got caves.
Caves. Okay. Yeah. So me and my kids are caves. So for caves people, they're really caves people. They really thrive with security and safety. So you may find like your husband likes sleeping on, the side of the bed that's closest to the wall. We really like to be tucked in to, like not have anyone come up behind us feeling like you look at the caves environment and so it's like it's cooler, it's quite dark. There's one entrance into spaces, there's one entrance out. Safety is really important for caves people and just feeling really quite, secure. So, I don't know if he's in an office or whatever, but if people have caves and they work in an office, they want to have a wall behind them. It's just really important. They hate being scared, so don't scare them.
So interesting. That's really interesting. We couldn't quite figure out his time, so I don't know if it's like specific to him, but I fiddled around with his time and the environment didn't change that much.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's interesting. I reckon he is caves.
Yeah, yeah.
I want to tell him that. He'll be like, "What do you mean? I'm fine. I don't need you to protect me. I'm fine."
I'm not scared.
Yeah. Um, this is so amazing. So I just wanted to let's also just talk about so there's strategy and then
Mhm.
there's not self-theme. Um,
Yes.
so what are those two? So my strategy, I got responding.
So your strategy is how you're here to interact with life. So you are here to interact with life based on that gut response. So you want to, you're really here to find joy in life and you respond to things with your gut. Like, okay, is this bringing me joy? Yes or no. So you're really here to respond to things. So I'm a manifestor. I'm here to initiate things. So you're not necessarily here to, initiate things. However, being the mum, you'll probably do the initiating in the family. And
Yeah.
you are all here to respond. So you really would probably step more into that initiator role. However, you are basically waiting for things to come towards you and then letting your gut decide, is this for me or is this not for me? That's
Hmm.
how you respond. It's the same for, the other people in your family when it comes to responding. But your themes are basically a green flag indicator of whether you're in alignment or whether you're out of alignment. So your self theme, so for you as a generator, that is satisfaction. And then your not self theme is frustration. So you want to look at your life. Okay, where am I feeling frustrated? Am I feeling frustrated um, when I'm not doing the things that I want to do? That's a big part of you as a generator. Why am I frustrated? This gives you an opportunity to redirect your energy into places that feel better. So when do you feel satisfied? You may be really satisfied when you're working because you're doing something that really lights you up. So you want to put more of your energy towards those things that are giving you the satisfaction. For the manifesting generator, they experience a little bit more of the manifest energy as well. So they may experience anger. So your husband may experience anger and frustration. So when that's coming up for him, okay, what's going on? Is he burning enough of his sacral energy? Is he directing his energy towards things that he loves, or is he not having enough of him time? Or when is he satisfied? Maybe when he's going to the gym and, he's doing something for himself. So it really gives you an opportunity to direct their energy in better ways, basically.
Hmm. Yeah, that makes sense. With the kids, what's the best one to know? Like, do you find, or is there multiple? Do you like to know more about your child?
I love to focus on that energy type. It's really important to know how they are here to use their physical energy. So, especially for parents that have non-energy being children. So, a lot of the time, because the generator and the manifesting generator are more of those common types,
Mm.
what happens is you'll have a family, and most of the family will be a generator and a manifesting generator. So, the non-energy beings kind of get caught up with that go, go, go energy. Where if you have children that are non-energy beings, you need to prioritize more rest for them. You need to realize that, they need a bit more freedom. They don't, their energy is not always there. So energy type's always a great one. The strategy and the not self themes, they fall into the energy type. So finding out that helps you find out them. Their profile is a really good one. It's like basically like their personality. So it again helps you find activities that support them and help them thrive. And then you have their environment. Like I love their environment, but something I also go deeper into is their energy centers. What happens with their energy centers, it's like the chakra system. So it's based off the actual chakra system, except in the human design system, there's 9 centers, and you would have seen that in the chart. Um,
Yes.
and they are either colored in or they're not colored in. And this is different for everybody. So when they are colored in, this means you've got consistent energy there. When they're not colored in, that means you're open there and you're open to influence. So you and everyone except your son, you would probably have the emotional center, which is over on the right, uncolored in, so like white. So what that means is you all take in the emotions of your son and you amplify them. So whenever he's experiencing something, emotionally, you will take that in and you'll amplify that. So sometimes he may be feeling some deep emotion and it can really trigger the rest of you and amplify that emotion within you. So you take in emotions from everyone around you and you amplify that. So you may be with someone who's really sad and then you get sad. You may
Yeah.
be with someone who's angry and then all of a sudden you're angry, and that's because you're taking in energy there and amplifying it. So all of those different centers mean something different. And this is a bit deeper into human design, but it's something that I think is so important for families to know because this is where we all impact each other. And it can either become really chaotic or you have awareness of it and go, okay, I'm impacting him. Let's have some space apart from each other so that we're not, our energy isn't conflicted. So yeah, again, it's awareness, but it's, I think, one of the most amazing things within the human design system to understand.
Yeah. Have you seen with your own clients and stuff like massive changes when they've been able to understand this?
Yeah, absolutely. So, one thing that I notice a big change with a lot of clients is manifesting generators, and you may resonate with this. So, manifesting generator children, or well, manifesting generators in general, they actually take an hour to wind down at night. So, you may find with your son that he's a bit hard to get to sleep. And that's because they really need an hour to actually wind down. And so when I, tell clients this, they're like, that makes so much sense. Like, I'm going to stop forcing and pushing this bedtime and really allowing them to wind down in their own time, finish moving their body, finish, because they move so fast, their energy can, kind of catch up in their body. So, when they can actually sit back and wind down for an hour, they're out. They're out like a light, and you don't have to do anything. And it's more of that pushing, pushing, pushing that exhausts the mum.
Mm.
But definitely the energy centers and understanding that as a family dynamic and where each other impacts and one another. This can be big because, everyone experiences emotions, especially for that emotional center. Everyone experiences emotions. So when you understand how your families work, that's, it makes complete sense.
Mm. It just what you said then, I was like, oh, I resonated because I literally was talking about on one of my episodes the other day how my son, he's always been such a good sleeper, like always been really easy to get to bed. And then all of a sudden we've hit this switch where he's completely different child. Like I'm struggling to get it. Like, he used to beg to go to bed. He used to be like, okay, I want to go to bed. Give me a bottle, send me off to bed. And now it's like, no, I don't want to go to bed. And I'm like, oh my God, wait, I'm not used to this. Who is this child? I'm not used to this. Like, so when you say that, I was like, oh, I guess we don't really give him enough wind down session, like winding down time. It's kind of like he'll be playing and then we'll be like, okay, bed. And we do need to create that, I guess.
And something that you can do as well is you just move that bedtime forward an hour. And that gives him that hour to wind down, but it also still allows you to have, the time at night that you need. But just it doesn't mean that, you put him to sleep at 7 and you've got to wait till 8. Just move that forward and you don't have to push it as much. And when you stop pushing it as much, they fall asleep on their own. I'm the same with my daughter. I was like, why will she not sleep? Like, I'm a single mum. So that time at night, I'm like, I need that time. So, and then when I stopped pushing it, I was like, oh, wow, cool. This is easy.
Yeah. Yeah, I love learning about it because I think it's going to really, well, you've already seen it. It's helped so many mums out there, but I just feel like it's really going to help us.
Yes,
Um,
absolutely.
so what do you have on offer? Like, what can anyone who's listening to this that is like, okay, I need to reach out to Sam? Like, what can you offer mums out there?
So I have on my Instagram, I have a free resource which has activities for kids and a way you can really direct their energy. That's for their energy type, profile, and environment. So that is on my Instagram. I also do individual readings. So the way that I do readings is that I grab your details, I do a recorded reading and I send it off, and then you have access to me for integration, message me about anything. So I do kids readings, mothers readings, and family readings. And then I am just in the process. Within the next 2 weeks, I will be releasing a program that is a self-paced program. So for those people that have, more than one or two people in the family, they can really dive into their charts as a mother
Mhm.
and their children's charts on their own. And this will include, everything that I include in a reading. It just makes it more affordable and people can take their time with it. And it just is a place with everything there that, yeah, people can go through at their own leisure. So that is called Decoding Motherhood, and that will be out in the next 2 weeks.
Oh my gosh, that's exciting. I'm gonna need that. I'm like, oh my God, I need to know more because I just know like already in this short amount of time of talking, everything you're saying just is making sense. And I so believe not only is it like just teaching us to understand ourselves at another level, but it's just also a really good reminder that we are all different. I feel like, as you were saying, like society, you get taught, especially as a mother, it can be under quite a lot of pressure. Like it's either you're this or you're that. Like you're a good mum or you're not a good mum. And it's like so hard to be a good mum. Like you're under so much pressure. So I just love this. I feel like it's going to help so much. I'm definitely looking into it myself. For anyone who's listening, I will put the links in the show notes below so you can go to Sam's Instagram, go to her links, and take up on all her offers. Thank you so much, though, for coming on. Is there anything that you wanted to share that maybe we've missed?
No, I mean, yeah, I think it is just such an incredible tool for a mother. It really helps her to understand herself and it really helps her to understand her children, and not only just to understand her children, like you said, we are all different as mothers as well. And I think we need to take that into consideration when we're, being hard on ourselves, because we're not all here to operate the same way. And I think when we do understand that, motherhood really can become a lot easier. And, we can feel more energized. We can feel more, in love with ourselves, I guess. So,
Mm.
yeah, it really is an amazing tool, and I think it should be in every home.
Yeah, I love your message. And yeah, motherhood doesn't have to be hard. Why do we always make it like it has to be, it's this hard thing?
I
Um,
know.
yeah, love that. So thank you so much for coming on. I've loved having you today. I love meeting you. And I'm probably going to reach out because I'm definitely probably going to be working with you in person.
Oh, thank you
I
very
can't
much.
wait.
It's been so good to be here. It's been such a great opportunity. Thank you.
Oh, good. Okay. I'll talk to everyone on the next episode. As I said, if you want to look into anything Sam's offering, it's all in the show links below. Otherwise, see ya and goodbye for now. Bye.